Hi guys, so today we're going to be building an end grain chopping board, and I'm doing it the style that the Wood Whisperer did because I like it a lot. I have a nice piece of teak here and a nice piece of oak, and this is actually for a wedding gift for my aunt. And I actually have two other pieces over there because I'm actually going to be building two of these. The thing with these is usually you're meant to use not open grain wood like oak, but I've used them on all my chopping boards and I find it's fantastic and I really like the look of it. So it might not be the standard, but it looks nice and I've had no problems with it before. So let me stop talking and let's get into this. Now for a change, I'm actually going to be using inches, and the piece of wood that I use when I order off my hardwood dealer, I get it cut to about 1 foot, or sorry, about 1 meter or 39 inches, and I get 4 inches wide or 10 centimeters and 4.5 centimeters thick or about 1 5/8 inches. Then what I do is I come from the end and I measure across 15.5 inches. You can leave a little bit extra, and then I come in 3/4 and 1.25 inches. So as you can see, we're going to have some nice pieces left over. I then come across another 15.5 inches and I measure across 2 1/4 inches, and that will leave 1 3/4 inches on this side. And those 4 pieces will be the 4 pieces of oak we need for a chopping board, and then the other 4 will be the teak we'll need. And as you can see, you have a nice little piece on the end here. So that's all you need to do to mark it, and I really suggest marking your pieces, or else you'll run into a bit of trouble trying to realise where everything is, and you could very easily screw it up. So let's get to the table saw and cut these.
So first I cross cut the wood. Now as you can see, my blade isn't tall enough, but that's no problem. I just flip it over and cut it again, and I have to do the same when I'm whipping. There's actually such a small amount I could just snap it off, but I prefer cutting it just to have a nice clean edge.
So as you can see, after we have these 2 pieces cut, we have a nice piece of oak left over that we can use for whatever we want. So I'm just going to do the same with the teak, and then we'll do the same with my other 2 pieces, but you won't need to do them if you're just building one chopping board. So I'll just finish doing this and then we'll rip the pieces to their widths.
So first here I'm cutting the 2 1/4 inch width wide piece, and after you do that you're actually left with your 1 3/4 inch piece as well. So it makes it quite easy. So as you can see, I'm not pushing the wood too hard, I'm just going nice and slow and letting the blade do the work. Next I did the 1/4 inch wide board, and then straight after that I did the 3/4 inch wide board. And remember, just go slow, let the blade do the work, don't be pushing it through because you end up with burn marks and not as clean as a cut. So just take your time and be safe.
So after cutting all your pieces, this is what you should have: a 3/4 inch piece of teak, a 3/4 inch piece of oak, a 1/4 inch piece of teak, a 1 1/4 inch piece of teak, sorry, a 1 1/4 inch piece of oak, 1 3/4 piece of oak, 1 3/4 piece of teak, 2 1/4 inch of teak, and 2 1/4 inch of oak, and then these scraps here. See, it's a lot of wood, and now we're going to glue this up. Now before finish, it's a bit hard to tell the difference between the two, but the real straight grain is the teak and this kind of curly grain is the oak. So I have my 4 piece of line. So basically the way you do it is you put it in alternating order. So you put your thinnest up against the thickest piece of teak, then you put the next thickest piece of teak, the next thinnest piece of oak, next thickest piece of teak, next thinnest piece of oak, next thickest piece of teak, and next thickest piece of oak. And that will be our first glue, like that. If you have a jointer, that'll be perfect. You can get some really nice straight edges and it'll be a real nice easy glue up. For me, because I don't have one, basically I have straight enough lines as it is, but I have to clamp it very hard to get it to close up all these joints. And here's just a slightly better look, guys. So you can see the 2 thicker pieces of oak and teak, 2 thinnest pieces of teak and oak, next two and then these two, so these are actually the same thickness. So yeah, that's basically what it'll look like in your first glue up. So here guys, I just did a dry fit just to show you what it looked like when I'm doing it up. So these two pieces of wood that I've clamped on both sides, put clear packing tape on them to stop it from gluing these pieces of wood to your chopping board. And what they do is they make sure to keep it as flat as possible, and this really helps. Without these, your thing will be skewing up and down. And then I just have two big clamps to clamp, and I'll probably put another one in the middle. So I'm just going to go over here and show you what way to glue it to do it as quick as possible. So with your piece of wood, when you have them like this, obviously you have the clamps right in that. This is your chopping board if you're wondering. So basically what you do is you get all your piece of wood, flip them around 90 degrees like this. And apart from your last one. So then what you do is you put the glue on all these surfaces, and then you just flip it back up like that. Start joining them all together. And then just clamp it up, and as I said, use clear packing tape to stop it, and try as even as possible on one edge, so that way when you're cleaning it up you won't be removing as much of the chopping board. So yeah, that's the strategy for gluing, guys. Alright guys, so as you can see I have it all glued up here, and I added a few extra clamps in the middle because I had them, so I might as well use them. So it's looking pretty nice, so it is. So thanks for watching guys, part 1. Part 2 will be out next weekend, and the reason I can't do this is because you need to leave this glue overnight, and tomorrow I'm at a boxing weigh-in, so I won't be able to do anything tomorrow, but next weekend I'll finish it up. So I will like cut the ends off, flip all the pieces and give it that really cool pattern and make it an end grain chopping board, because at the moment it's just a long grain chopping board. So thanks for watching guys. Remember, a clean shop is a safe shop. Please comment, rate and subscribe. Check out my Keek, and thanks for watching.